Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Zomedica, one of our favorite stocks to talk about on this channel. I'm not really going to go into too much depth, but just a reminder, this is an animal healthcare stock, really focused on the pillars of truforma, PulseVet, VetGuardian, TrueView, Revo, and Assisi Animal Health. Now, if you're clicking on this video, you probably already know what Zomedica is. And today we have been waiting for this for about maybe 4 to 5 months at this point. We haven't really had a Zomedica rally in a long time. I think the last one was back prior to January, right? Since January, we've just sort of been on a bit of a downturn, a bit of a bump up, but really trending downwards, going flat, sitting there at 20 cents. It literally looked like the stock was just going to sit there for a while. And today we finally broke out. We're now sitting at 24 cents in the after hours. And this is phenomenal news. And usually when these things happen, people have two questions. Number one, why did this stock go up today? And number two, will this keep going up, or should I consider selling some of my swing shares? So the first thing I want to talk to you about, is really why it went up while the rest of the market really had a great day. It's green all across the board. We had SPY almost up 1%. We had the NASDAQ up 0.5%. You can see here pretty much everything on the right is in green. Very few stocks are in the red. Tesla, Zomedica, Visa, Workhorse, SoFi, Riot, PayPal, NVIDIA, tons of stocks. This is a really good day for my portfolio. It was fantastic. But what you're probably wondering is, so what? Is that it? Is 10% all we can hope for? And that's we're not going to go any further than that in the short term. Well, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And also don't forget that nothing that is said in this video is financial advice. Please, I cannot state this enough. Do your own research and do your due diligence, because I am documenting my journey to financial freedom using stocks, using crypto, using GameFi and NFTs. And for those of you who want to watch and sort of understand what I'm doing, I am not the definitive answer on any of these things. So please do your own research so you can make your own decision. So Zomedica had a fantastic day, looking at the chart. One of the things I'll sort of go back to is you can see the lines that I've drawn, right? I had mentioned in a previous video, I'm sitting here hoping, and when I say hoping, by the way, I don't want you guys to get confused. I'm not hoping the price of Zomedica goes down, but I'm just hoping that Zomedica wasn't trading within this range. While we're sitting between 19 cents and 23 cents, I'm standing pat. Now, I'm going to talk a bit about my investment approach and method in another video, but just so you guys know, when we're not in a buy or a sell zone, I'm crossing my hands. I'm refusing to do anything, because if I make a move for 10% gain, I could potentially miss out on a way bigger move. So we are about to break into my zone where I will start to sell off a bit of my swing shares, and then, hopefully we keep going up. My target here is actually, the price target is around 31 cents. So, you know what? Let me draw this line right here. Where we go. And if, for those of you who are wondering what this is TradingView, and it's a really great service that I use. 31 cents is potentially the next resistance level, the next big one that we sort of hit on January 18th. This, if I sell some swing shares in this zone above 24 cents or around 24 cents, I will sell some swing shares once we get to 31 cents. That's my next level, right around here, okay? Now, Will this be sustained? We don't know. And the reason for that is tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, the June CPI data print is coming out. Now, from Japan, not from Japan, from China, we heard some amazing news in regards to their inflation. It actually came down. But we've heard from other countries, in fact, that the inflation reading has gone up. So it's sort of a mixed bag. We don't know what to expect. This is why I'm always sitting there with cash, sitting on the sidelines, ready to take advantage of any sort of buying opportunity, right? But it's got to be a significant buying opportunity. Keep in mind, stuff like meme stocks, and I'm not saying Zomedica is a meme stock. Zomedica is a speculative stock, but I believe has a lot of long-term growth potential. What's happening here with Zomedica potentially is that if we are in a risk-off environment and if inflation sort of shows that it's out of control, so if we miss on inflation, I expect the market to come down either tomorrow or in the days following. There have been some times where we had a miss on inflation, the market rallied, but really it was a sucker's rally because it would rally slightly, and then by the end of the day, it would crash and keep going down for the next couple of days. Hopefully, we'll find out which way it goes. All I care about is making sure it's not flat. Because as long as the stock market is going up or down, you have opportunities to make money. The only time you don't make money is when you stand pat, and I recommend staying pat for the majority of you. I saw a comment actually that I responded to a few days ago. Somebody else who sort of loves Zomedica, who watches the channel, they had mentioned, hey, you know what? They're just super bullish on Zomedica. And you know what? So am I. But at the same time, in this time period where Zomedica is trading between a range between 20 and 35 cents, I found a way to make a ton of money by swinging the sort of ups and downs of each of those regions. If I stood pat the entire time, I would have made $0 holding on to Zomedica. And in fact, the opportunity cost of holding on to those shares was preventing me from buying into stocks like Tesla, buying into stocks like Apple when they were sitting at significantly lower prices. Hey, Joe Dog. Hey, brother. How are you? I've been following you for a while. I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're having a great day. I hope that seeing this has really inspired some confidence in you and your stock portfolios, not just for you, Joe, but for everyone. This is the kind of stuff we want to see. We always see this kind of stuff for Tesla, but I love seeing that stuff for Zomedica, right? A 10% move, 9% in the sort of the market trading hours, and another 2.3% in the after hours. And this is exactly it. You're so close to buying in pretty heavy at 19.75 cents. But let's just be honest. I don't want to sort of jinx it, but I think you'll have another opportunity soon. If not, I'm sure you have enough shares of Zomedica that you won't be upset if we keep going up, right? Sort of what you should be doing is the best time to make a plan for Zomedica is when things are stable, when they're flat. When we're sitting at 20 cents or 21 cents for weeks on end, that's when you tell yourself, okay, what am I going to do if the stock goes up? What am I going to do if the stock goes down? Make the plan when your emotions aren't engaged. And that way, when you have to be pulled into action, you know what to action on. You look at your plan and go, hey, I said I would buy 5,000 shares at 18 cents. 18 cents comes. If you didn't write it down and you didn't sort of follow your plan, you go, oh, maybe I can get it cheaper. The same thing would happen when the stock goes up. Oh, maybe I could sell it for much more. That's why when you're level-headed, make a plan, stick to it. DJ DNA, you didn't really miss much. Honestly, I want to pop up, I have a bottle of Dom Perignon. When Zomedica sort of reaches $1, and you know what? When Zomedica reaches 50 cents a share, I'm going to pop this bottle of Dom because I could buy hundreds of bottles of Dom with that sort of appreciation. I cannot wait. But besides that, we're just here talking about what we can expect. sort of the CPI print tomorrow, which will have a significant impact one way or another on the share price as well. And the other thing is, like, honestly, just enjoy it, right? The green days are fantastic. I love seeing green. I hate seeing red. But at least when red happens, I have money set aside so I can buy the dips. Joe's saying here he's a swing trader. So what I'm doing is going, yeah, exactly, right? So find your zone. So this is exactly kind of what I do as well. I have a portion of Zomedica that I'm holding long term, and then I have my swing shares that below a certain price, you see my zone with the smiley faces here. In this zone, I'm willing to buy some more Zomedica, add to my position. And up here, I'll sell some of those back and just go rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And you'd be surprised how much money you make in the short term. A lot of people talk about like covered call option strategies. I believe in buying both hold shares and swing shares for every stock you have conviction in. And you may be wondering, what do you do for stocks you don't have conviction in? Well, I have a really easy answer for you. You don't buy them. I would never buy anything that I don't have conviction in, because the reality is, if the shares go down, you're sitting there going, man, I really don't believe in this company. I just believed in hearing it was great. I believed that, the green was fantastic. And that's why I tell people, look, don't take my word for it. For all you know, I could be a complete idiot, right? Why would you want to rely on someone on YouTube for financial advice? You shouldn't. You should just sort of listen to what I'm saying, listen to what other people are saying, and go out and make your own decision and sort of do the research to figure it out and figure out what your risk tolerance is. Based on your risk tolerance, it tells you how many shares of a company you can buy. Because the reality is, if you ever feel like the stock is going down too much and you're worried, it means you bought too many shares and you're overinvested. And you should look to liquidate some of those shares at your first opportunity. Are they on the same trading platform? So I have them across 3 trading platforms. The 2 that you probably know about are Quest Trade and Interactive Brokers. And I'm not going to share the other one, but it's with the bank that I use personally. So those are the 3 trading platforms I use. This really helps me manage my average cost. Quest Trade, which is what I use for the channel, is sort of what I've sort of told you my average cost is, which is right now it's sitting between like around 19 cents. Wow, DJDNA is holding 37,000 or 38,000 shares. What's your DJDNA? What's your average cost, if you don't mind me asking? I think this gem is going to start going up on February 2024 like it did last time. Hey, honestly, I love it. I think that, time will tell. I think, in my opinion, like you see from the hat, right? Super bullish. I am super bullish on this stock. In my opinion, they've got so many great things going. They just got to keep doing the same thing, right? Show that expanded revenue, show some more product launches, build out their pipe, take on sort of more of their manufacturing, right? Like I loved what they did, sort of pushing Corva out and saying, hey, we'll manufacture. And now sort of the ball's going to start rolling over time. And you know what's going to happen? I guarantee, I can't guarantee you, but here's what I see happening. When Zomedica starts like going up, you're going to see people asking, am I too late? Oh my God, I'm so jealous of you. You're so lucky to have a cost basis in the 20-cent range. But people don't realize sort of this is the sort of struggle that sometimes people have. I'm not saying we're struggling, but the reality is when the stock is going down or staying flat while everything else is doing well, you're kind of like looking from side to side. I don't know if you've ever seen that scene from Office Space where the guy is looking, he's stuck in traffic and he's trying to switch lanes and he's like, oh, what the hell is going on, right? It's like, let's see, I'll just show this right here. This guy, right? He's just sitting here and he's like, nothing's going well, right? Oh, this is not as good. Didn't turn out as well as I thought it would. Zoom in. right? Literally like just looking in traffic, seeing people sort of like walking by. Every time he would switch lanes, then his old lane would go up. And I've seen people do that with stocks all the time. They get impatient, they jump to another stock, and the stock they jumped into just sort of takes off. And the stock they jumped into actually comes down. And they're like, what happened, right? It's all about building conviction and having patience and taking the opportunity to stack. Because just like what Joe Dog said, you're going to wake up one day and go, man, I wish I bought yesterday. One day, inevitably, that's going to happen. Don't let that happen to you. And it doesn't have to be Zomedica. It can be anything. You're holding you mentioned this. 50,777 shares. Yeah, so another 13,000 shares. Hey, honestly, like 19 cents, not a bad time to load up, right? It's about time to start showing. Yeah, exactly. And Jeff Parada, have you considered averaging down? I'm not saying that you have to, but once again, there are some fantastic opportunities. Like the whole reason I started swing trading Zomedica was my average cost for Zomedica was significantly higher, right? I started buying Zomedica around I think it was 90 cents to $1. Like I sold it at the peak, then I bought it around $1 to 90 cents, and it just kept going down. So I would continue to buy swing shares, buy, sell, buy, sell. And by doing that, I brought the average cost down. If I didn't do that, I'd be super underwater right now, right? We've had so many different pumps for Zomedica. So that's the other thing I want to highlight here. Don't think that this pump is just going to be straight up forever, right? So if we look at Zomedica over here, right? And since Zomedica sort of broke down from the dollar range and came here, and we hit 19 cents, I'm trying to make sure I zoom in so you see it. We hit 19 cents, like right here. So we hit 19 cents, and then we went to 28 cents, back to 21 cents, up to 40 cents, down to 21 cents, up to 25 cents, down to 20 cents, right? Down up to 24, down to 15, up to 35, down to 19. And we've been sitting there in this zone for pretty much half a year. And now we're finally breaking out. I hope you look at this chart. Please review the Zomedica chart. It'll show you these pumps aren't sustained. What you have to realize is there's a lot of people who are underwater on this stock. They don't have the patience to sort of hold through. So what'll happen is as the stock price goes up, the sell pressure continues to surmount a very much increase. So imagine it like an elastic band, right? We're sitting at 20 cents, the elastic band is flat, but you start pulling. 25 cents, 28 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. Eventually it'll snap back, and every single time it's going to go further as the company builds itself out and as there's more demand and new people who are interested in Zomedica. The people who have the hardest time holding on to Zomedica are the one, and this is not always, but are the ones who typically are underwater. And again, it's not just Zomedica, it's sort of everything. That's right, Joe. I have it into a different account. That's perfect, Jeff. Gives me way more flexibility, 100%. I sold 30,000 first when it was at 6 cents. Sold it, 6 cents ish, sold it at 247. That's insane. Yeah, $115,000. Congratulations. Honestly, you won. I didn't buy anywhere close to that many shares. And my average price for Zomedica was 60 or 65 cents when I sold it in the twos. Bought back in when it first started to dip at 57. I'm at 27 with 37K. Yeah. Fantastic. DJ DNA, you've gone through the process, so you really understand, and this is exactly it. Not financial advice, just entertainment purpose. How low do you see it selling off potentially in the future? Well, we do have a liquidity zone sitting here at about 15 to 16 cents right here. So one of the things that the institutions know, and this is part of where the manipulation comes in, right? When you look at right here, right? This means that there's a buy wall here. There's a ton of orders, and you know what? I'm just going to draw a box to sort of represent that. Let's see how I'm doing it. Damn it. Nope. Why is this not working? Okay, so the way you've got to look at it is you see this like box here. There's a bunch of unfulfilled buy orders. The reason these charts work, right? This is not like black magic or any sort of astrology thing. The way you should look at this is every time you create a resistance, there's a order or a wall of buy orders. So let's say there's a million buy orders here, right? It fills as much as it can and then jumps up once you've filled all the buy orders. The only time we will break through this is if we filled every single buy order that exists, right? The same thing happens on the top end. There are a ton of sell orders here. So I'm going to copy and paste. I wish I was better at sort of moving these things. Just pardon me as I get this sorted out. So right here, there is a ton of sell orders because the last time the stock came up here, it couldn't get through this. Every time it tried, it would fill sell orders and it would keep selling. Eventually, the number of sale orders sort of still, there was enough still existing and there was no more buys at this range. So then it came down. It never tested it again. Institutions know this. And what institutions will do is they take advantage of this. So if an institution has an opportunity through the media, they'll get Zomedica to come back down here, clear all of these buy orders for them and sort of sell into this and then go up. That's sort of how like liquidity is grabbed. So this is something you definitely want to consider. This is why it's super important to chart. You don't want to just look at a price. Now, if you just want to buy and sort of leave for the long term, it doesn't matter, right? If that's what your goal is with Zomedica or any other stock, then do that. But if you're looking to trade, in this case, I'm swing trading as well, it's very important for me to know that there's a ton of buy orders here and there are a ton of sell orders up here. Okay? Yeah, so maybe 20 cents. I think it'd have to break through that. But after 20 cents, it's 15.8 cents. That is probably as low as I think it'll go. It'll be hard for it to go lower than that. Okay? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to make videos more often. Honestly, I love the reception I'm getting. I love the fact you guys tune in. Please continue to ask questions. Leave comments in the chat. Leave comments in the actual comments after the video, and I'll make sure I get back to them. And before I forget, make sure you follow us on all socials. And I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.